Welcome to the Enemy Delia, and thank you for joining me as we talk about Volume 10 of the A Certain Scientific Accelerator manga series. A really dark volume that goes more in depth on the organization that kidnapped Higami at the end of Volume 9. As we know, Mami is the twin sister of Yumi, who we saw fighting at the end of Volume 9, and is a part of the organization known as Full Course. However, learning about her backstory was really heartbreaking. As it turns out, she possessed an illness that no matter how many tests were carried out, doctors within Academy City could not find a cure. This, of course, would then put a physical and mental strain on her mother and her sister, as well as herself, because they were all going through a very hard time. Everyone was scared, everyone was worried and fearful for the future. However, throughout all of this, the family never gave up, never gave in. Their faith within Academy City to find a cure for Mami was actually really strong, and their resolve was rewarded. Or so they thought. They were living a dream because they were told that a company could make a wonder drug to save Mami. And the family allowed her to go away with this organization, to run some tests, to be able to create that wonder drug so that they can live happy as a family again. However, that dream then quickly turned into a nightmare, as it was all a lie. Instead, this company was a fake, and just wanted to gather children with Mami's condition in order to extract the body crystals within them to make different types of nectar. Which is what we learn all about in this volume. Now in this flashback, the art style captures the hopeful emotions that the characters possessed brilliantly. But even better than that, the presentation of emotions like horrified, pain, scared, fear, all of that, torment, was incredibly good. This also not only helps make the experience while reading the volume better, but it also helps build up the organization known as Full Course, making them a very evil antagonistic group, preying on the desires of this family to want their daughter to be better and cured of this condition, and basically just lied to them, selling them a dream of this wonder drug that they can possess if they take their daughter away to run some tests, only to never see her again. This, of course, would mentally destroy that family and any of the other families they tricked beforehand, thus giving us more of a reason to hate this organization. And this volume overall does a magnificent job of making this antagonistic group, give them some heat. Because at the end of it, I really do find this organization, Full Course, a better antagonist than what we've had so far within the Accelerator spin-off. And the reason why I say this is because if you look at how they're acting present day, treating Higami as if she's an animal, with the only purpose to produce this god-tier nectar that they make crazy, sick, twisted, deranged people dance with joy just from tasting it. Telling her that she's nothing more than a cow, adding that line that even dairy cows, once all their milk has dried up, are eaten. That was a magnificent line to deliver, because we have Higami already hung up on a cross by this point in present day, and she's already scared, fearful, and she's like going crazy. She's been captured again after she was set free. And everything that's going on, all of the people cheering and sort of applauding her and just going crazy over something she doesn't want to happen, just being told that she's nothing more than a cow. And once she's dried up, once she's run out of dairy nectar to produce, all that good stuff, she's going to be boiled alive and made into a stock. Whew. Now, like I said earlier, when comparing antagonistic organizations within the Accelerator manga, I do prefer Full Course as an antagonist, say over an organization like Da, as they do bring more of an unsettling and uneasy vibe when reading this manga. These people are dark, twisted monsters who aren't afraid to feed their victims to their customers. In closing, if you're a customer of this group, be careful what you're eating, because you might just find a fingernail. And I think the setting of the environment helps to also add this unsettling vibe within this volume. As you are reading, basically adults are okay with essentially torturing this younger female, this kid, just to please their taste buds. Like, they're going wild for this stuff known as nectar, and they're freaking out, and when Higami goes, I'm human, you know, treat me with respect, I'm not your puppet or plaything or whatever she says, they just laugh. You know, they're absolutely deranged, twisted, sick people. And I just like the fact that they've added this element into it, because again, it adds to the vibe and the darkness of the organization and what's actually going on in the undertone of things. Higami is a young female. She's not exactly old, and I wouldn't want anyone tortured, let alone a child. Going back to Yumi's character, the good twin out of the two, I really do have a lot of respect for this character, as she clearly has endured a lot of hardship within her life. From getting into judgment to her mental hurdles that she's had to overcome. She basically heard her grandma state that because Yumi and Mami are twins, identical twins at that, just having Yumi around will be enough to keep her mother happy. Basically, her grandmother was devaluing the life of her sister. Of course, she doesn't accept that, which I greatly respect from her. And just in the case of like designs and the emotions that she shows, this character of Yumi is absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't mind if she does play a hand in the final sort of stages of this arc, but the way they've kind of written her character so far and how she's injured and not able to move a lot, I don't see that happening, but I do want to see the payoff in where she gets reunited with her sister and her mother, and they can all live happy again. I know Index, Accelerator, and Railgun aren't really the happy ending type of stories, but that's one character I'm really rooting for to have a happy ending, something with some smiles. Where on the other hand, we got Mami's character, the other twin, a girl who has been scared her entire life, constantly having tests performed on herself, until finally a ray of hope was shone upon her on this wonder drug idea that was sold by the fake company. To then only become a slave, getting tormented and used. We see a lot of conflicting emotions from her character, and her expressions are very negative, showing sadness and signs of nervousness. As is clear, getting nectar extracted from her is painful, and she fears the day that she gets dried up, as she knows that death is close, as full course see her as nothing more than an ingredient that will soon expire. However, she can also feel trapped, as on the other hand, her life has been somewhat preserved, thanks to the efforts of full course, being that her illness has not beaten her yet. So again, she's just on a timer, and once she dries up, she knows that this is an organization that is just going to throw her to one side or cook her up and put her in a stew or whatever. But at the same time, I really do like Mimi's character, or Mami's character, because it's, yeah, it's very conflicting, very confusing, but it's understandable because of what she's had to go through. She's had to endure all this pain and all this suffering and all this psychological trauma since she was really, really young. So you got to respect, like, the fact that she is doing what she's doing now, and she doesn't seem all that bad, if I'm honest. She just seems like she's doing what she has to do based on what Full Course have told her to do and what they potentially have helped her with in the past. So let's move on to some Accelerator topics. And on another note, I really did like the way they inserted Accelerator into the story. Not only is two of Last Order's friends in pain/trouble, but it links to the idea and theme of sisterhood. Which again ties to Last Order, as all the Misaka clones are basically biologically the same, causing Last Order to have some inner conflict, thus creating the feeling of sadness, making her want to help her friends out that are in trouble. But of course, Last Order can't do it on her own. She can't do that. She's not strong enough to go up against an organization like Full Course. So yeah, Accelerator is helping out simply to make Last Order feel a lot better and at ease. And because he knows how scummy the city really is, and how helpless Yumikawa, being that she's a member of Anti-Skill, is, and not being able to interfere due to a board member being involved. Plus, yes, Yumikawa and Accelerator does know each other, and he knows that she's in a room listening to the story. They're eavesdropping on the conversation. So, knowing who Yumi Kawa is and how she acts, he probably does have some indication that she's going to try and do something, and it's going to end badly for her, both in the way that she's a part of anti-skill, going up against a board member, slash an organization with a backing of a board member, to just her ability as one person as it is. As we see that at the end as well, she is struggling to get past the first gate without Accelerator's help. The only thing I did think was a bit weird in this volume though was the fact that Yumi Kawa acted as if she didn't know who Accelerator was or what he was capable of. Now I guess you could say that she was kind of in a bit of a shock and wasn't really expecting to see him there. That's why, she acted that way. But poor girl, she looks great in that dress. I'm not gonna lie, I quite like it on her. Yes, she looks uncomfortable because it's not her type of outfit that she would wear, but it does look good. Don't listen to that mean card. You did great. So overall, I really did enjoy this volume from a group building perspective, as I'm now invested in this evil organisation known as Full Course, as they are very unhinged and crazy with their actions, and I want to see how they continue to operate. Plus, like I said earlier, I want to see that long-awaited reunion between the two twins and see how that goes. If it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows, or if it's going to be a little bit more sadder than we initially thought it would be. The art style and emotions shown were magnificent and helped to easily convey the feelings of each character that were involved in this volume. Plus, it also helps make the chapter feel sadder, darker, and more explosive in the correct locations. Everything that was used, from effects to just the art style, the facial expressions, the dialogue, it all helped add and create a very enjoyable volume all the time. I genuinely have no idea what happens in volume 11, but I'm very excited to see how they settle things with Accelerator and his many animals now storming the Full Course party. This should be really fun, really interesting, and I'm hoping to see where they take it from here. So of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you thought of this volume, and of course, like the video if you did, hit that subscribe button for more index related content on a weekly basis, and I'll see you next time. Alligator, matane, goodbye.